Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is the 12th November 2024. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. First, let us find the stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames. During this process, we will also identify daily and 75 minutes high liquidity zones, and also we will identify price closed inside the monthly, weekly and daily demand zones and their reports with high probability setups based on EMA Confluence. Okay, let me start with the half yearly time frame. Let's find the stocks near half yearly demand zone. No stocks are filtered. Next, half yearly time frame. Let's find the stocks near half yearly supply zone. No stocks are available. Next time frame is quarterly. Let us find the stocks near quarterly demand zone. 4 stocks are filtered. I'm giving you only few seconds time to watch the report. I request you pause the video, study the report, and then you can proceed further. If you don't know how to study the report, I request you complete our training lesson 21.1. In that video, I explained each and every column, their values, abbreviations in detail. Okay, next, for quarterly time frame, let us find the stocks near quarterly supply zone. 2 stocks are filtered. Next time frame is monthly. Let us find the stocks near monthly demand zone. 11 stocks are filtered. Next monthly time frame. Let us find the stocks near monthly supply zone. 2 stocks are filtered. Next monthly time frame, let's find the stocks price closed inside the monthly demand zone, but let us eliminate the pierced monthly zones, demand zones. So pierced count I need to set on monthly time frame, minimum value 0 and maximum value 0. That indicates zone is not pierced. This is the filter list. First 21 stocks where price closed inside the monthly zone. Scrolling the list down. So total 21 stocks are filtered where price closed inside monthly demand zone. Now from this list, let us identify zones having a monthly EMA Confluence. In the EMA Confluence monthly time frame, I am selecting monthly demand zone having monthly EMA Confluence. But EMA Confluence makes sense only in the trending, but not sideways market. So that's why in the trend monthly time frame, I am eliminating sideways trend. Now we got 12 stocks. From 22 we got 12. These 12 stocks are having monthly EMA Confluence. All these demand zones are having monthly EMA Confluence. Okay, next for monthly time frame, let us find the stocks where price closed inside monthly supply zone. And these monthly supply zones should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at monthly time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means zone is not pierced. We got 3 stocks. In these 3 monthly supply zones, any monthly EMA Confluence, let's verify. In the EMA Confluence, monthly time frame, monthly supply zone with monthly EMA Confluence. We did not have any stocks. Okay, next time frame is weekly. Let us find the stocks near weekly demand zone. So these are the first 16 stocks. I am scrolling the list down. So total 23 stocks are filtered. Okay. Next, for weekly time frame, Let us find the stocks where prices are near to the weekly supply zone. Only one stock is filtered near to the weekly supply zone. Next, for weekly time frame, let us find the stocks where price closed inside the weekly demand zone, and these weekly demand zones should not be pierced. So in the pierced count weekly time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means zone is not pierced. So we got a good number of stocks. So these are the first 16 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down, and 32 stocks, and maybe 1 or 2 stocks might be there below. 16 to 32. Again I am scrolling the list down. So total 34 stocks are filtered. In all these demand zones, 34 monthly demand zones, prices are closed. You may see some of the high liquidity demand zones inside S_DZ. That means support demand zone. That way you have to identify high liquidity zones. Okay, in this 34, there could be some high probability supported stocks might be available based on the weekly EMA Confluence. Let's verify. In the EMA Confluence weekly time frame, weekly demand zone with weekly EMA Confluence. And these are the first 17 stocks. All these stocks price closed inside the weekly demand zone and also having weekly EMA Confluence. First 17 in the list, I am scrolling the list down. So total 20 stocks are filtered. All these 20 are high probability set of weekly demand zones. Okay, next for weekly time frame, let us find the stocks where price closed inside the weekly supply zone. So 10 stocks are filtered. But any pierced zones, let us eliminate. Weekly supply zone, pierced count, I have to set on weekly time frame as 0, 0. Minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Earlier we got 10, now we got only 5. That means earlier list 5 stocks were pierced, 5 supply zones were pierced. Not demand zones, supply zones. Okay, in these 5 stocks, any EMA Confluence is there? Let's verify. In EMA Confluence, weekly time frame, weekly supply zone with weekly EMA Confluence. We got 4. Sideways you have to ignore. That means we have only one valid stock. So this is the way you have to filter the stocks. Okay, next time frame is daily. For entry time frame daily, let us find the stocks near daily demand zone. We got a big list. These are the first 15 stocks. I am scrolling the list down. So total 21 stocks are filtered. So from this list, we need to identify high liquidity daily demand zones. First one is FinNifty. Nifty Financial Services is FinNifty, which is listed in F&O. This is a high liquidity daily demand zone. Nifty Auto, but pierced, and also it is not listed in F&O. And the next one is CanFin Home, Canara Bank Financial Home Services. This is the second stock. Conquer you can't valid, it is a pierced zone. Next one is Deepak Nitrate. Next one is ZNFC. next India Mart, next LIC Housing Finance, and next one is Tata Chemicals, but Tata Chemicals is invalid because it is pierced, so it's not valid. So total 6 high liquidity demand zones we identified from this list. Okay, next for daily time frame, let's find the stocks near daily supply zones. We got 4 stocks. Any high liquidity supply zones? We have L&T. L&T is a daily high liquidity supply zone. Okay, this is about daily time frame, but daily time frame we should also identify price closed inside the daily demand zone. Those demand zones should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at a daily time frame, the minimum value is 0, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means daily demand zones are not pierced. So this is the filtered list. First 16 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down up to 30 stocks. Again, I am scrolling the list down up to 45 stocks. I am scrolling the list down again. So total 50 stocks are filtered. Currently price closed inside the daily demand zone. 50 stocks currently price closed. And let's verify how many of these stocks are having a daily EMA Confluence, and the trend should not be sideways, because a sideways market EMA Confluence does not add any extra advantage. So that's why EMA Confluence on daily time frame, daily demand zone having daily EMA Confluence, and the trend, zone violation trend on daily time frame, it should not be sideways. That means it can be up or down. Uptrend can be useful for bullish trade setup. Downtrend can be useful for counter trend trade setups. You got only 6 stocks from 50. Only 6 stocks are having EMA Confluence. Okay. EMA Confluence, daily demand zone with daily EMA Confluence. This is the way we can identify the high probability setup related zones. Okay, next for daily time frame, let us find the stocks where price closed inside the daily supply zone. And these daily supply zones should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, at a daily time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. So we don't get pierced supply zones. We got 5 stocks. In these 5 stocks, again, how many supply zones are having daily EMA Confluence? High probability setup supported stocks. Let's find. So in the EMA Confluence at a daily time frame, daily supply zone with daily EMA Confluence. Ignore the sideways stocks, ignore these 2. So you have valid stocks Manappuram and Tech Mahindra. Manappuram can be used for bearish trade setup, and Tech Mahindra can be used for counter trend trade setup related trade plans. But remember, we are generating bullish and bearish trade setups, automatically it will do. But when you are using price closed inside the zone concepts, you can go for manually with what to say. If it is daily, you can use them as a HTF zones. That way you can plan HTF or ITF. That way you can prepare your trade setups. Okay, this is about daily time frame. Next time frame is 125 minutes. Let us find the stocks near 125 minutes demand zone. We got a big list. These are the first 15 stocks. I am scrolling the list down. So total 20 stocks are filtered. Next, for 125 minutes time frame, let's find the stocks where price closed inside the where price closed near the 125 minute supply zone. Only one stock is filtered. Next time frame is 75 minutes. Entry time frame 75 minutes. Let us find the stocks near 75 minutes demand zone. We got 14 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity 75 minutes demand zones from this list. And we have one stock Marico, next stock Maruti, and the next stock MGL, next stock Obra Realty, next stock PI Industries. So total 5 stocks we identified. We have 5 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones from this list. Okay. Next, for 75 minutes time frame, let us find the stocks where price is near to the 75 minute supply zone. 5 stocks are filtered. Let us identify high liquidity supply zones from this list. Coromandel, and Tata Chemicals. So we have 2 high liquidity supply zones. So total 14 high liquidity zones we identified from daily and 75 minutes time frame. Please correct me if I am wrong. Okay, next time frame is 25 minutes. Let's find the stocks near 25 minutes demand zone. 10 stocks are filtered. Next, for 25 minutes time frame, let's find the stocks near 25 minutes supply zone. 3 stocks are filtered. Next time frame is 15 minutes. Let's find the stocks near 15 minutes demand zone. 10 stocks are filtered. Let's check any of these demand zones having a ITF demand zone confluence. That is 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. Enable the filter. So with this filter from the 10 stocks we got 6. In all these 6 stocks we have confluence, but some of these zones are already pierced. You can ignore them. Okay, next for 15 minutes time frame, let us find the stocks near 15 minutes supply zone. 4 stocks are filtered. Let's identify how many of these stocks are having ITF confluence. That is 15 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone confluence. I enabled the filter. Only one stock is having ITF confluence. Next time frame is 5 minutes. Let's find the stocks near 5 minutes demand zone. 8 stocks are filtered. Let's identify how many of these demand zones are having ITF confluence. That is 5 minutes demand zone with 15 minutes demand zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. So with this filter, we got 7 stocks. Okay, next for 5 minutes time frame, let's find the stocks near 5 minutes supply zone. We got only one stock. Let's check whether it is having any ITF confluence, that is 5 minutes supply zone with 15 minutes supply zone confluence. So with this filter, no, we did not, that stock is not having ITF confluence. So this is about stocks near demand and supply zones. Next, let us identify NIFTY and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain, starting with NIFTY and the monthly time frame. I am generating monthly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. So this is NIFTY monthly supply demand zone chain. Always look into the zone column to identify the high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column to identify the pierced zones, and also look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. Okay, next time frame is weekly, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Okay, next time frame is daily, generating daily supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next time frame is 125 minutes, generating 125 minute supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next time frame is 75 minutes, generating 75 minute supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next time frame is 25 minutes, generating 25 minute supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. Next time frame is 15 minutes, generating 15 minute supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. And the last time frame is 5 minutes, generating 5 minute supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. So this is about a NIFTY supply demand zone chain. Next, let us generate a BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain. That is nothing but NIFTY Bank. Let's start with monthly time frame, generating monthly supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next time frame is weekly, generating weekly BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain. Next time frame is daily, generating daily supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next time frame is 125 minutes and 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next time frame is 75 minutes, 75 minute supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next time frame is 25 minutes, 25 minute supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. Next time frame is 15 minutes, generating 15 minute supply demand zone chain for BANKNIFTY. And the last time frame is 5 minutes, generating 5-minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. So with this we have completed Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. The next set of reports are bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly and daily income trades. Let me start with monthly income trade for bullish trade setup. Entry time frame is daily. Entry zone is demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup, entry time frame daily. I am selecting bullish. The daily demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, at a daily time frame, that is entry time frame, I have to set a minimum value 0 and a maximum value 0. That means the daily demand zone should not be pierced. And zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd and enhancer score 12. All the 3 filters are applied to daily demand zone. Now let's filter the stocks. We got 14 stocks. Currently these 14 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. That is entry time frame, daily demand zone. But monthly income trade, but entry time frame is daily demand zones. All these are all daily demand zones. In these 14 daily demand zones, there could be some high probability supported daily demand zones are available. We need to find them. So first technique is based on LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. Let's apply that. In the demand zone confluence, LTF and ITF demand zone, that is daily and weekly demand zone confluence filter, I am enabling. With this filter, we got 9 stocks. In these 9 stocks, daily demand zones are part of the weekly demand zone. They are having confluence, zone confluence. That means overlapped with weekly demand zone. Because the daily demand zone is part of the weekly, and if the weekly demand zone is having weekly EMA confluence, they are a high probability setup because the weekly trend is up. So let's verify. In the EMA confluence, weekly time frame, because the daily zone is part of weekly zone. So weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence, that's a high probability setup. These are the even more high probability. In all these 5 stocks, they are even more high probability because they are having weekly EMA confluence. All these demand zones. Okay. Next. Let us filter based on LTF and ITF and HTF demand zone confluence. So I am removing this EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we should set. LTF, ITF filter is already enabled, daily and weekly. And next, daily demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence. And weekly demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we can get LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. We got 2 stocks. In both these demand zones, the daily time, these are all the daily demand zones. These daily demand zones are part of the weekly demand zone. Both together again part of the monthly demand zone. And also monthly trend is up in both these stocks. Because monthly trend is up, if any of these stocks are having monthly EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at monthly time frame, because the daily and weekly zones together part of the monthly zone. That's why monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. I enable the filter and both stocks are filtered. That means both these stocks are high probability setup supported stocks. This is the way we can identify high probability setups. Okay, this is about bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame is daily. Entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at entry time frame, daily time frame, I am selecting bearish. And these daily supply zones should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at a daily time frame, I am setting minimum value 0 maximum value 0. That means daily supply zone is not pierced. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum order enhances score 12. With all the three filters are applied to daily supply zone, we got two stocks. Currently these two stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for monthly income trade, that is entry time frame daily supply zones. In these two daily supply zones, let us identify any high probability setup stocks based on the ITF supply zone confluence, that is a daily supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence. I am enabling that filter. With this filter, one stock is filtered. So this is a high probability setup supported stock. And ITF trend is a downtrend. If this, because the daily zone is part of the weekly zone, and if the weekly trend is down, and if it is also having weekly EMA confluence, it is even more high probability setup. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, weekly time frame, weekly supply zone with weekly EMA confluence, we did not get any EMA confluence. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence, removing this EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, three filters we have to set. Already one filter is enabled, that is a daily with weekly, and a daily supply zone with monthly supply zone confluence, and weekly supply zone with monthly supply zone confluence. With all the three filters, we don't have any stocks. Fine. Next trade setup is bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Weekly income trade entry time frame is 75 minutes. Entry zone is demand zone for bullish trade setup. In bullish or bearish trade setup, at 75 minutes time frame, I am selecting bullish. The 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means 75 minutes demand zone is not pierced. And zone achievement violated opposing zone. And third filter, OE score should be minimum 12. All the three filters are applied to 75 minutes demand zone. Let's verify. We got 12 stocks. And all these 12 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame is 75 minutes demand zones. And in these 12 75 minutes demand zones, there could be some high probability demand zone, 75 minutes demand zones are available. We need to identify. So first filter is based on LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. 75 and daily demand zone confluence filter is enabled. With this filter, we got 11 stocks. In all these 11 stocks, the entry time frame 75 minutes demand zone is part of the daily demand zone. They are overlapped with daily. Because they are part of the daily, if those daily demand zones are having daily EMA confluence, those zones are even more high probability setup stocks. Because the daily trend is uptrend. Daily means ITF zones. So let's verify EMA confluence. The EMA confluence at a daily time frame. Why daily? Because these 75 minutes demand zones are part of the daily demand zones. So daily demand zone with daily EMA confluence filter is enabled. With this filter, we got 5 stocks. In all these 5 stocks, the 75 minutes entry zone is part of the daily zone, and the daily zone is having daily EMA confluence. So that's why these 5 stocks are even more high probability setup supported stocks. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone confluence. I am removing the EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, we need to set 3 filters, 75 daily and weekly. 75 demand zone with daily demand zone is already enabled. Next filter, 75 minutes demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence, and daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. All the 3 filters are enabled. With these 3 filters, we get LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence stocks. 5 stocks are filtered. In all these 5 stocks, 75 minutes demand zone is part of the daily demand zone, both together again part of the weekly demand zone. And weekly trend is up for the last 3 stocks. In these 3, if there is any weekly EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence weekly time frame, because the 75 minutes and daily are part of the weekly zone, so weekly demand zone with weekly EMA confluence filter is enabled. We got 4 stocks. In these 4, you need to ignore the first one because sideways trend. And remaining 3 uptrend, uptrend, uptrend. So second, third and fourth are high probability setup supported stocks. See, in software also you can filter. How we can filter? In zone violation trend, weekly time frame, weekly trend should only be the uptrend, but not the sideways. See, we got 3 stocks. You have the flexibility in this software. Okay, this is about a bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame is 75 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes time frame, I am selecting bearish. The 75 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means 75 minutes supply zone is not pierced. Zone achievement is violated opposing zone. Minimum odd and enhancer score should be 12. All the 3 filters are applied to 75 minutes supply zone. So with this we got 11 stocks. All these 11 stocks are currently supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. That is entry time frame 75 minutes supply zones. In all these 11 75 minute supply zones, in all these 11 stocks of 75 minute supply zones, there could be some high probability supply zones are available. We need to identify. So first filter is based on LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. So in the supply zone confluence, entry time frame 75 minutes and ITF daily confluence. That is 75 minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence filter I enabled. With this filter, we got 5 stocks. In all these 5 stocks, the 75 minutes entry zones are part of the daily zones and the daily trend is a downtrend because they are bearish trade setup. Because 75 minute zones are part of the daily zones, if those daily zones are having daily EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, daily time frame, daily supply zone with daily EMA confluence filter is enabled. Now we got 4 stocks. And all these 4 are even more high probability supported stocks. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence. I am removing this EMA filter. So in the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. One filter is already enabled, that is 75 with daily. Next filter is 75 minute supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence. Daily supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we are getting LTF, ITF, HTF confluence stocks. We got 2 stocks. No need to look for EMA confluence because both the HTF zones are having sideways trend. So EMA confluence does not give any additional advantage in sideways market. Okay, now let's look into this is about bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Now let's look into the bullish trade setup for daily income trade. In daily income trade, entry time frame 15 minutes. Bullish trade setup entry zone is demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup parameter at 15 minutes time frame, I am selecting bullish. These 15 minutes demand zones should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, minimum value should be 0, maximum value should be 0. That means 15 minutes demand zone is not pierced. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhanced score should be 12. All the three filters are applied to 15 minutes demand zone. Now let's filter the stocks. We got 4 stocks. Currently these 4 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade. That is entry time frame 15 minutes demand zones. All these 15 minutes demand zones. In these 4 15 minutes demand zones, there could be some high probability supported stocks might be available. Let us identify them. First filter is based on LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. So in the demand zone confluence, LTF is 15 minutes, ITF is 75 minutes. That is 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence filter is enabled. With this filter from the 4 stocks, we got all the 4 stocks. That means in all these 4 stocks, all these 15 minutes demand zones are part of the 75 minutes demand zones. And this 75 minutes trend is uptrend. If any of these 75 minute zones are having daily EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let's verify. So in the EMA confluence at 75 minutes time frame, 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence. We did not get any stocks. Okay, fine. Next, let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. I have to remove EMA filter. I removed it. So in the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence is already enabled. Second filter 15 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. Third filter 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. All the 3 filters are enabled. With this LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence, we got 3 stocks. So these 3 are high probability setup supported stocks. In these 3, second and third stocks are having uptrend. If any of these 2 stocks are having, because they are part of the weekly zone, 75 is part of daily, 75 and daily together part of weekly zone, and the weekly trend is up second and third stocks. If those weekly zones are having weekly EMA confluence, those stocks could be even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, weekly time frame, weekly demand zone with weekly EMA confluence, we got 2 stocks. So first one is sideways. You need not get any additional advantage, but this is a high probability, very high probability setup supported stock, and also it is a high liquidity zone. 15 minutes high liquidity zone. This is the entry zone. But this zone is part of the weekly zone. And the weekly zone is having weekly EMA confluence. Okay. This is about a bullish trade setup for a daily income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame is 15 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup, at 15 minutes time frame, I am selecting bearish, and these 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means 15 minute supply zone is not pierced. And zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhanced score 12. All 3 filters are applied to 15 minute supply zone. We got 15 stocks. All these 15 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade. That is entry time frame 15 minutes supply zones. Entry zones are 15 minute supply zones. These 15 minute supply zones, there could be some high probability supported stocks might be available. We need to find them. So first filter is based on LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That means the 15 minute supply zone should be part of the 75 minute supply zone. So I am enabling the filter 15-minute supply zone with 75-minute supply zone confluence. With this filter, we got 14 stocks. In these 14 stocks, the 15-minute supply zones are part of the 75-minute supply zones. In all these ITF stocks, the trend is a downtrend, 75 minutes trend, and these 75 minute zones are having daily EMA. There could be even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let us verify. So in the EMA Confluence, 75 minutes time frame, because 15 minute supply zones are part of the 75 minutes. So 75 minute supply zone with daily EMA Confluence filter enabled, we got only 3 stocks. These 3 are even more high probability setup supported stocks, because 15 minute supply zone is a part of the 75 minute supply zone, and that 75 minute supply zone is having daily EMA Confluence. Okay, next filter is based on LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence. So I have to remove this EMA filter. I removed it. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. Already one filter is enabled, that is 15-minute supply zone with 75-minute supply zone. Next filter, 15-minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence, and also 75-minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we get LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence. We got 3 stocks. In these 3 stocks, the 15-minute supply zone is part of the 75-minute supply zone. Both together again part of the daily supply zone. If any of these stocks are having EMA Confluence except the second one, because second one trend is sideways, that could be high probability. The first one or third one is having daily EMA Confluence, that is even more high probability. Let's verify. In the EMA Confluence, daily time frame, daily supply zone with daily EMA Confluence. So second one is even more high probability setup, because the trend is down, and first one sideways, you can ignore EMA Confluence. And the second one is even more high probability setup supported supply zone, and moreover it is also, the 15-minute supply zone is also a high liquidity supply zone. So this is about bearish trade setup for daily income trade. And in the final report, let's verify stop buffers based on daily ATR. First 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. I keep on scrolling the list down, whichever the stock you want to refer, there you please pause the video. After that you can proceed further. Okay, I am scrolling the list down. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.